Scree and Squee, two sort of bats from Timbuctoo. Scree was a sort of bat. So was her twin sister Squee. They were both Timbuctoo bats. They lived in a cave on the island of Timbuctoo. Now Scree and Squee were pranksters. They'd pull pranks on anyone and everyone in Timbuctoo. Take the other day, for instance. First, they snuck up behind Growl and yelled, "Growl!" Growl was a sort of tiger, the timidest tiger in the world. And because Growl was the timidest tiger in the world, he jumped up in fright and ran away screaming, "Help! Help!" Next, Scree and Squee tied Nay's shoelaces together. Nay was a sort of horse. When Nay tried to walk, he fell flat on his face. Then Scree and Squee walked up to Trumpet. Trumpet was a sort of elephant.
"Can you tell us what's large and grey and goes doppet doppet?"
asked Scree. Trumpet thought for a while. "There's nothing I can think of," he eventually said, "that's large and grey and goes doppet doppet."
"I can think of something that's large and grey and goes doppet doppet,"
said Squee, tying a knot in Trumpet's trunk. "Doppet! Doppet!" said Trumpet. He was trying to say stop it, but he couldn't talk properly with a knot in his trunk. Scree and Squee grinned and went off. Growl, Nay, and Trumpet were very, very cross. Very, very cross indeed. The next day, the Timbuctoo animals held a meeting. "Something has to be done," said Nay. "Something has to be done about what?" asked Trumpet, who had managed to undo the knot in his trunk. He'd forgotten what the meeting was about.
"About Scree and Squee,"
explained Growl.
"They're pulling too many pranks."
"But what do we do?" asked Trumpet.
"I know just what to do,"
piped up Hiss, who was a sort of snake, and he told everyone his plan. Later that day, Honk, who was a sort of seal, was about to enjoy a swim in his pool. Scree and Squee snuck up to Honk's pool with a giant sponge. They were going to empty Honk's pool. But when they got there, the pool was empty.
"How did that happen?"
asked Scree. Honk walked up to them with the giant sponge in his hand.
"Nice try,"
he said. Scree and Squee looked at each other.
"I know a prank we can pull at Grizzle's farm,"
Squee eventually said to Scree. Grizzle was a sort of bear. Now Grizzle's farm was full of apple trees. Scree and Squee were going to take all the apples from those trees and blame it on Oink. Oink was a sort of pig. But when Scree and Squee went to Grizzle's farm, they found that the trees had no apples on them.
"I don't understand,"
exclaimed Scree.
"Missed them by that much,"
said Grizzle, approaching the twins and eating an apple. Next, Scree and Squee went to Meow's house. Meow was a sort of cat. Once they went there, Scree picked up a rock. She was going to throw it and break Meow's window. But when Scree threw the rock, it didn't break Meow's window. Instead, it just bounced off and landed in a nearby river where it made a big splash. Scree and Squee were soaked. Meow opened his front door and looked at the twins.
"I think,"
he said,
that this sort of thing wouldn't happen as often if you two didn't pull so many pranks.
Scree and Squee thought about what Meow had said. And you know something? From that day on, Scree and Squee have never pulled any pranks. Well, almost never. Scree and Squee.
'Twas thrilling,
And the slimy toads
did fire and nibble in the wave,
All misty were the boring roads.
and the gnome rats got brave.
Beware the Scree and Squee, my son, the bats that pull a lot of pranks. Beware the talking trees, and shun the angry walking planks.
He took a big balloon in hand. Long time the double foes he sought. So rested he by the apple tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in sour cream he stood, the Scree and Squee, with eyes of flame, came flying through the tiny wood, and chuckled as they came. 1, 2, 1, 2! With that he threw the big balloon straight toward the bats. And with a plop, and then a plop, some water splashed from that.
And hast thou beat the Scree and Squee? Congratulations, my young boy! Oh, what a day! Hurrah, hooray!
He cheered in all his joy.
'Twas thrilling, and the slimy toads did fire and nibble in the wave. All misty were the boring roads, and the gnome rats got brave.
I tell ya, this is the weirdest thing we've ever done on this channel.